Hey there, it is Layla the Voodoo Vixen, and this is part 2 of the Black Opal Series Dark vs. Light Energy. Now, before we get into it, I like to give a little rundown of what the Black Opal Series is about. And it is named after the famous stone, the Black Opal, because of its protective properties, its mysterious look, and its magical abilities. And that's what we learn about here on this series. Ways to protect and guard your energy, ways to enhance your spiritual ability, and ultimately ways to manifest what you desire. The more you know, the better you will be at what you do. So it doesn't matter if you're a spiritualist, doesn't matter if you're a witch, it doesn't matter if you're intuitive or just somebody that's really interested in this stuff. This is the place to be. So in the first episode, if you guys have not checked it out, I would highly recommend going back to check it out so that it could kind of mesh into this one and you get the full spectrum, right? But in the first episode, we went over yin energy, which is also known as dark energy. We spoke a little bit about dark magicians and dark work and what that means. In this episode, we're going to be doing the opposite, which is the yang energy, otherwise known as the light energy. Yang energy, the properties representing this would be more positive, upbeat, light, the sun, seasons such as the spring, the summer. It's very vibrant, it's very high vibrational. It also represents energy, intensity, and activity, and being awake. People that possess this energy or follow this spiritual path tend to be very upbeat people. They seem to always be in a pretty decent mood. They always seem to be the people that no matter what life throws at them, they come back with a smile on their face. And they also seem to be the person always ready to give their shirt off of their back or help with anything that someone needs and really never ask for much in return, just off of the cuff. And these people, if they are into spiritual practices, are often known as Lightworkers, or sometimes also known as Starseeds. They are very good when it comes down to healing. They possess a natural ability to heal people. So whether that's physically as nurses, doctors, psychologists, therapists, or spiritually as Reiki masters or healers using vibrations such as sound, tuning forks. These people have that ability to just kind of repair those that are broken. Unfortunately, because of this, they tend to attract mostly broken people, and it's very oftentimes hard for them to connect with other beings of the same vibration. They can meet someone that vibes the same, and just for some reason, it doesn't truly work. Now, what I want to talk about when it comes to light energy, just to give some perspective, is how this type of energy affects us as spiritual beings. As I mentioned before, they are a high energetic type of being. They're a high energetic type of person. And if we think of yang energy, as I said, it represents light. And light, by definition, is a form of kinetic energy with the ability to make types of light visible to human eyes. So it's a kinetic energy. So if you're wondering what kinetic energy is an energy that is consistently in motion. If you guys have ever watched Bill Nye the Science Guy, I'm pretty sure he goes over it. But kinetic energy is energy constantly in motion. And if we think of what light energy truly is, it kind of makes sense for what the people that fall into this path come off to be like. Oftentimes, they're very high vibrational. They're very active. They're very involved, especially with causes that matter to them. And with that, they radiate, right? They radiate, they glow, and they put out this energy that just attracts people to them. People are drawn to them. Now, I want to take a second to understand. I want to take a second to get you to understand something about Lightworkers. As positive, high vibrational, awesome as they come off to be, it's not a walk in the park to be a Lightworker. And anybody that's a Lightworker listening to this knows I'm right. Why? Because of everything I just said. It's exhausting. They're constantly in motion. They're constantly handling things energetically. They're constantly feeding their energy to other people to build them, to help them grow, to help them get out of their own way. So they're constantly a power source, even in their sleep. They're more prone to astral projection and activity in the dream realm. And that's because of how they vibrate. So naturally, you have to assume at some point or another, they feel burnout. And if you cannot control this energy as a light worker, burnout can look different to many people, but it can be very, very detrimental to the overall well-being of the individual that possesses this energy. When you are doing light work and you have no control over it, the darker side of it is restlessness, feeling overwhelmed, anxiety. And I know somebody's like, oh my God, I think this is me. But it's true. Because if you think of basic science, an object in motion must stay in motion. When things get quiet and calm for a light worker, when that dark energy comes forward, as I mentioned in the other episode, without knowing the ability or the strength of one's power as a light worker, it is very quick and easy for them to second guess and question themselves, because calm means possibly staying still. Now, as somebody who has these qualities as a starseed, as a light worker, the biggest thing you have to understand is being able to stay still. And I want to make a point to say that we have learned that objects that don't even appear to move are moving on a molecular level. The molecules are moving. They're still vibrating at their own pace. This is why healing stones tend to make people feel better. This is why holding objects that seem to be inanimate make people feel comfort, like a teddy bear, right? It's because of the vibration of that fabric, of that whatever it may be, is still feeding your energy. So when we talk about going still as a light worker and being still, we're talking about cooling that energy to a point that it's at a nice dull roar. Nice and cool. Like when a flame gets really, really low and it turns blue and it looks like it's about to go out. It is at the hottest temperature in that moment. Anything can ignite that flame. And as a light worker, that is something that has to be mastered over time. Now, I know I mentioned in the Darkworkers series that, or the Dark Magician series that, or series, I'm saying series, in the Dark Magician episode, I know I mentioned that a lot of times Darkworkers do not choose to be this way, they just are. And it's the same thing with Lightworkers. And if I was to be honest between dark and light, a Lightworker is more so a threat to someone when it comes down to malice or harm. And you guys are probably like, Layla, what do you mean? Like, Lightworkers, you just said they're these positive, loving, I'll give my shirt off my back for you type of people. What do you mean? And I'm going to tell you, Lightworkers are more, in my opinion, intimidating than a dark worker. Not because of spiritual capability, but because they are energy. They are energy. If you spend too much time around a flame or in the heat, you will get burnt. And unfortunately for Lightworkers, this is a constant reality for them. Not so much burning people they love, but people being intimidated by them. Because how dare you come up in here with all that high vibrational energy? What is wrong with you? Why are you like this? Or even worse, hey, can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? Oh, I know that you're always busy doing something, but can you help me here? People constantly manipulate and take advantage of these type of individuals because of how they are by nature. And I want us to be clear that being a Lightworker is not all cherries and rainbows. Who asks to be used? Nobody. Who asks to constantly attract broken people? Nobody. Who asks to constantly be the source of somebody else's energy? Nobody. But it takes a special somebody to do it. And maintenance and self-preservation for a Lightworker is extremely important because it's so easy for that flame to dim and then eventually go out. And they take to the other side and decide, you know what? I'm going to use this energy, this power that I have, and I'm going to use it for more ill will because nobody saw me when I was vibrating high, when I was the light. Everyone only saw my capability. They didn't see my importance. So let's be clear. Being a Lightworker is not fun. But it can be if you know how to use these tools correctly. So some of the things, as I mentioned before, that Lightworkers deal with, can lead to burnout. But ways of recharging energy for these beings is important. And if you're listening, this is for you. Protecting your own energy comes first. I know we hear it constantly. Oh, keep high vibrational, well, guess what? That's not realistic in 2024. That's not realistic on this earth. There's going to be people that peeve you off. It's true. Oh, stay high vibrational after someone spit in your face sounds just ignorant. But what you can do is you can recharge. The idea of staying high vibrational all the time is unrealistic, but taking a difficult day or a difficult week or a difficult month, a difficult year, and taking some time to hibernate and recharge is absolutely essential. And the way this looks to a lot of people would be spending time in the sun. Lightworkers' worst time of the year oftentimes is the winter because there's very little sun there's very little recharge, and they're forced to try to stay afloat on their own devices, right? So being able to get into the sun is important, but what I will tell you that a lot of people won't tell you is sitting in the moon is equally important. Yep, I said it. Sitting in the moon is equally important. The moon radiates light. It reflects the light from the sun. It illuminates the darkness. So the moon isn't just for dark workers and people who like to intermingle at night. It is very much also for light workers. Charge your crystals. Raise your vibrational. Moon bathing. Star bathing. All of that is ways to get your energy back. Understanding that every light source and any source of light can contribute to your recharge, including candlelight. I know that that's not typically spoken of because you hear, oh, you're a light worker. Just envision your body being covered in a gold glowing light and just radiating through the top of your head and through your body and out your palms. All of that's good, but not everyone is able to visualize that. Not everybody's able to visualize that. Some people aren't visual. They're just not. So you know what? Light a candle and take a moon bath. Recharge like that. Purchase some LED lights for your room. As I'm speaking right now, I have a nice, beautiful glow throughout my room. Nice, warm glow. Something that's not too much that I could easily drift off to sleep with. But also something that is raising the vibration and keeping the energy moving in the room. Purchase some LED lights. Purchase a night light. For those that when you were kids and were afraid of the things that go bump in the night and find yourself looking for a night light or asking your parents for a night light or constantly needing a source of light, consider the fact that you might be a light worker. Consider the fact that your kid might be a light worker. Consider it. There's some people that can't stand the darkness. And I did mention in the episode when I was speaking on the yin energy that a lot of dark workers had that trauma in their childhood of something grabbing them in their sleep and stuff like that. But the difference is they never could escape the darkness, even in their waking life. For light workers, they always had a night light. They always have an energy source, somebody willing to feed this and supply them with some type of light at the end of the tunnel. They always seems to be fortunate because it's like, Dad, you go through everything, you figure it out. That's because it's the light at the end of the tunnel. That's why. Now, another thing with light workers that you have to be mindful of and understand is a imbalanced light worker that does not know the severity of their ability can also become a dark empath. They can also become somebody that sucks you for your energy. Not because they're trying to do it maliciously, but they need to recharge. And every being has a certain vibration that they can feed off of, that they can share. Sometimes the healing stones aren't enough. Sometimes sitting by the water isn't enough. A light worker that does not know their capability can drain you. If you think of a power surge, how when a power surge occurs, it's capable of blowing out everything attached to those outlets. Your phone can end up becoming defected. Your light, your lamp could become defective. All of this stuff can no longer work because this energy came in so quick and so aggressive, it just blew it out. And that is what an uncontrolled light worker can be capable of. So out of all of the different types of work, and when we consider dark energy and light energy, we have to be extremely mindful of those light workers, those ones that never ask for anything in return, those ones that are constantly giving their shirt off their back, constantly doing things, because you don't know what they're truly capable of until they snap, until they let that energy surge go and burn every outlet and everyone that was connected to it, right? And as awkward as it may sound, you have to learn to protect yourself against these type of beings as well. And before I get into the more protection part of this, I want to quickly say, light workers, it is so important for you to ground and keep your energy calm. There is, in my opinion, less respect for the light than there is the darkness. Nobody cherishes the fact that the sun comes out every single day until they've had almost a month of rainy days and gloom. No one appreciates how electricity in their home keeps everything running and moving until they don't pay the bill and it all is cut off. Nobody realizes the power of energy and light until they are completely deprived of it. But don't make it your business, light workers, and those that maybe you're not a light worker, you know someone's a light worker, make it your business to take a break, or tell them to take a break. Hey, look, you've been running around a lot. I know you like to stay active. I know you like to stay busy, but hey, maybe we should just hang out. Let's just hang out and have a kind of chill day today. Sometimes light workers disguise their stress and their pain with more work. They'll do more healing. They'll put forth more effort. They'll go the extra mile until they can't go anymore because they don't know how to oftentimes just stay still. Because again, no energy, no vibration, it is terrifying when that's the realm you consistently live in. And this is why oftentimes you see people, oh, I'm afraid of the dark, or I don't like sitting alone, I don't like being at home alone, it's because there's a lack of comfort in self. If you're not comfortable with yourself, if you're not capable, or if you don't know what you're capable of, you are never going to be comfortable in the darkness. You're never going to know how to ward off your own personal darkness. And you're going to over-ignite your energy consistently. A light worker that is balanced is capable of great healing. They're capable of such vibrational frequencies that they could light up an entire room. They're capable of success in career. They're capable of success when it comes down to influence with other people, because people already want to be around them. They already want to be around the energy. If we take Leo energy as a prime example, or how a Sagittarius always can make you laugh, or the Aries that always shows off and is winning the competitions, you're already seeing in our society different ways that light is shown in a positive way. But as you know, a Leo with a hurt ego, or has never addressed ego, can become very vain. An Aries that has narcissistic traits because they never got the attention they needed to nurture that energy when they were younger can develop those qualities A Sagittarius that never got the opportunity to travel and be free can become smothering. All of these things can happen, so it's very important to understand balance. And don't wait until the light goes out to acknowledge what is and what isn't. Now, when it comes to protection, say you're listening to this and you're like, well, I ain't a light worker, I'm a dark worker, or I'm something else. I delve more with this yin energy over here. When it comes to protection, the biggest thing that you can do is understanding that you can you could put someone's light out, but that's not benefiting you. They might just become another dark worker like you. I think it would be simpler to have the mutual respect. Understanding each person to be how they are and not expecting anything differently. If you see that you are dealing with a light worker, or there's a light worker around you, or say you're a light worker yourself and you're constantly getting burnt out, the easiest way to protect yourself is, one, to distance yourself from people that do not serve you. There's no need to keep all these people in your circle if they do not serve you. You do not have to be at service to everyone. Not everyone is deserving of your energy. The other part of it is understanding that you are not crazy. I say this because part of being light is to be awoken and being awake. And that is a terrifying feeling. When you come onto your path and you open your third eye, all of a sudden the world becomes fake. At least it feels that way. You step out of the matrix. So calming your energy enough to know that what's happening is real and that you're not in some weird reality. Well, you are, but you get what I'm saying. Stop fearing what is given to you by your spirits, by God, Goddess, by your ancestors. Don't fear enlightenment. It's the easiest way to protect yourself. Don't become your own enemy. And when it comes down to those that aren't light workers, understanding that that person, if they don't have control over their energy, they can burn you. Step back a little. There's no need to put your input or feelings into whatever they're doing. Step back a little. Give them some space. If you're in a relationship with a light worker, give them some space when they say, I need space.